Hello and welcome to Total Health with Dr. Nick. My purpose is to inspire, empower, and motivate you to live longer, healthier, and of course, more abundant lives. In today's video, I want to speak to you about the amazing health benefits of matcha green tea. And I will tell you, I didn't know a lot about matcha green tea until a couple of years ago, and it has become one of my favorites. And I'll tell you, I love coffee. I'm a big coffee drinker. I love it. I love the whole warmth of it, the social aspect of it, but matcha green tea with the health benefits of it is slowly becoming, or I should say quickly becoming, probably my go-to favorite. And I think once you see what this is all about, you're going to understand why too. And we're going to hop right on in just a moment with all the health benefits. But first, you know I love to give a shout out. I love celebrating you out there because you guys are crushing it. The reviews, the testimonials, the heartfelt messages I get from you are just absolutely melting my heart, and I want to thank you for that. So this one goes out to Vincent Rando, and Vincent writes, "Hi Dr. Nick, I'm 56 and he's going to be 57 in a couple of months, so Vincent, if I don't say happy birthday to you, then I'm going to give you one right now. I started keto way of eating March 3rd of this year. I was 345 pounds. My size 50 waist jeans were getting too tight. Ugh. I said, this is it. I'm in with this way of eating. It's been 210 days. Now get this. This is amazing. 210 days, and he's lost 118 pounds. That's a half a pound a day consistently. I'm 226 pounds now. I want to get to 200. And I believe you will. I know you will, in fact. I can't believe how much I've lost in such a short time. Intermittent fasting every day and a strict keto diet. I flood my mind with everything health and fitness, and that's a big part of it. So many times you're exposed to people who maybe don't believe in what you're doing. They're telling you the keto diet's not healthy, not the way to go, you can't eat that way, whatever it may be. Or maybe they just putting their false beliefs on you. Maybe they know they can't do it and they don't want you to succeed. I'm sorry, but some people are like that. But when you flood your mind with positive thoughts every day, positive motivational things, you watch videos and tapes and audios and things like that that are motivational, inspirational, that's how you really succeed with this. So, like I said, he's flooding his mind, everything health and fitness. Your videos have been with me from day one. Thank you, Dr. Nick. You've been my second home. Vincent Rando. Well, thank you so much, Vincent. I appreciate that. You have no idea. And like I said, guys, a lot of you maybe aren't getting the same results as Vincent, and that's okay. Nobody has to lose 110 pounds or 120 pounds or even 80 pounds. Even if you're losing 5, 10, 15, 20, you're still winning. Take that next step. You can do it. Don't get discouraged by other people who are doing maybe more than you. Maybe you started this off with your husband and he's just killing it and you're struggling along. A lot of times, it really depends on what we've been exposed to all of our lives. Maybe you're insulin resistant a little bit more, but that's okay. Just keep going, keep plugging. You'll have that breakthrough. I promise you, just give it the time to work its way through. Let your body start to really heal, healing your hormones and so on, and you can do it. And I'll tell you one way, like I said, is from our communities, our Facebook group, and if you really want the extra help, take a look at the course we've got. We just started a course called Ultimate Keto with Dr. Nick, and if you really want more help, take a look at it. If it's not a fit for you, that's okay, but some of you need a little bit more hand-holding or a little bit more instruction and a little bit more insight and so on. So take a look at it and see if it's a fit for you or not. But anyway, if you like what we're talking about here, make sure you like, you share, you comment, and subscribe, and we're going to dive right on in with the amazing health benefits of matcha green tea. So first of all, let's look at 5 different reasons why this is so powerful. And we look at the ORAC value, that's the oxygen radical absorption capacity. In other words, how much free radicals can it absorb? Of course, we all know about antioxidant levels. How much antioxidants does a food have that can fight these free radicals? Catechins, we're going to be speaking about those in a little while, but those are super antioxidants, basically. L-theanine and chlorophyll, extremely important, and you're going to see why in just a little while, and how it's alkalizing. So with that said, let's first talk about its ORAC value. And like I said, ORAC stands for oxygen radical absorption capacity. So how many free radicals can it absorb? So that's basically when we look at foods, and of course we typically, when we're thinking about foods that are very high in the ORAC score, or high antioxidants, is the very colorful ones. And so berries are, of course, pretty much at the top of the list we could always think about. But what's interesting about matcha green tea is this. Most people think of blueberries as one of the highest. Blueberries, of course, everybody knows how super rich in antioxidants are. Well, their ORAC score is 24. Now get this. The ORAC score of matcha green tea is 1,384. So it just absolutely blows away one of the top ones that you can think of, which are blueberries. So this thing is a rock star when it comes to absorbing free radicals. Now, next I want to talk about catechins. What are those exactly? Well, catechins are actually super antioxidants. In fact, a lot of people think they're even more powerful than vitamin E and vitamin C. So what Harvard said is this. According to a paper published by Harvard Medical School, green tea is one of the best food sources of a group of antioxidants known as catechins. Catechins are thought to be even more powerful than both vitamin C and E in stopping oxidative damage to cells. And that's really the important thing. When you think about your health, you have to literally think about it at the cellular level. It has to go right back to the cell. And anything that causes damage to the cell structure itself, to the DNA, the cell membrane, whatever it may be, that is going to start to cause your body to break down, and it ages you early. So one of the big things that causes premature aging is things that cause free radicals to be formed. Now, antioxidants like catechins play a key role in the health and disease, with studies showing that they could help protect against chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, and even cancer. So some of the biggest diseases that we know about can actually be helped with matcha green tea because of these catechins, because of these super antioxidants. Now, talk about L-theanine. Now, L-theanine, this is an amino acid, and what L-theanine does is it can actually get your body to produce alpha waves. So this is a very calming effect. Alpha waves are the frequency that your brain is in when it's in the most calm, most tranquil. A lot of times you're daydreaming, you're kind of off in a daze. That's typically alpha waves. Sometimes people can meditate with a very high alpha frequency. So that is the one where you're most calm. Now, the amazing thing about this is that matcha green tea, one, has an extremely high amount of L-theanine, but it's also got some caffeine. But it's not as high as coffee. So the beautiful thing about how matcha green tea works is that it's a very alert calm. You're alert, you're sharp, but yet you're very calm. So it's got a very calming effect on your body. It also helps increase levels of GABA. Now that's gamma amino butyric acid. Now GABA is a neurotransmitter in your brain. Now what that means is this. Neurotransmitters are chemicals within your nerve system that can actually transmit the signals from nerve to nerve. That's a neurotransmitter. So it's in the gaps between the nerve fibers, so that way it can transmit the signal across a gap. So think of it like there's a canyon. You want to get across the canyon to the other side. You need a carrier molecule, and a neurotransmitter is just that. Now, what's interesting about GABA is an inhibitory neurotransmitter. Now, what it's known for is inhibiting these impulses so that way your body doesn't feel stressed and anxious. So matcha green tea is very relaxing because it gets your body to secrete more GABA, which helps your body block those messages that are causing anxiety and worry and things like that. So super good for that. So you want to include it anytime you're feeling anxious. That's one of the nice tranquil benefits of drinking a nice cup of matcha green tea. Now, what about its other benefits? Well, number one, its cancer-fighting benefits. Numerous studies on this. Number one, a bladder cancer study. 882 women showed that the risk of bladder cancer was significantly reduced in women who consumed matcha. Not only that, when it comes to breast cancer, a meta-analysis. And what a meta-analysis means is this. A meta-analysis is a study of the studies. So if you have a bunch of studies, say 5 or 10 different studies, and you want to do a study on the studies, that's called a meta-analysis. So a meta-analysis found that women who drank the most green tea had a 22% lower risk of developing breast cancer. Now, for those of you who are concerned about colorectal cancer, okay, colon and rectum, a study of 69,710 Chinese women aged 40 to 70 found that green tea drinkers had a 57% less chance of developing colorectal cancer. Now that's significant. As if 22% wasn't high enough, 57% is really super high, you know that. Now, for those of you who are concerned, guys out there, about prostate cancer, and of course, all men after the age of, say, 50 are going to start to get enlarged prostates. It starts to become an issue, but you don't want it to turn cancerous. So get this. One large study found that the Japanese men who drank 5 or more cups of green tea per day had a 48% lower risk of developing prostate cancer. So good news for us guys. If you're worried about being at risk for prostate cancer, I know we tend to think about saw palmetto, but start including something like matcha green tea, which once again, matcha green tea is much higher than your regular green teas in those catechins. So you want to use matcha rather than just your regular green teas. What about heart? Well, reduces the risk of heart damage and heart disease and strokes and things like that. Turns out that high antioxidants, the catechins once again, studies show that green tea may help reduce the risk of heart problems. One study in over 40,000 people found that those who drank more than 5 cups of green tea daily had a 26% lower risk of death from heart attack or stroke. And now other studies, it's just not these, other studies show that green tea consumption could help lower cholesterol levels, reduce blood pressure, and protect against heart disease. Once again, it's these catechins, these super antioxidants that help protect tissue, help protect heart tissue, help protect brain tissue, so that way you don't get strokes and heart disease. Well, what about diabetes? Well, it can help that too. As if that wasn't enough, you want to drink this just simply too because it can help your diabetes, so your blood sugar levels will actually start to get lower. A study published in the Annals of Internal Medicine found that consumption of green tea was associated with a lower risk of developing diabetes. And in another study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that green tea consumption decreased insulin, blood sugar levels, and improved long-term blood sugar control. So, if you're concerned about, and I'll tell you, if you're concerned about diabetes, which I do not have, but I've had historically a slightly higher glucose level, which if you saw my last video on the GKI index, that's not a good thing to have. We don't want to have a higher glucose level. But a lot of times I test my glucose and it might be 95. Now, it's not in the 110, 120 pound range, but point range, not pound. But it's still too high for me. I'd rather be down in the 80s. Well, today I measured my blood glucose and ketone levels. My blood glucose was 82 and my ketones are 2.7. So that is just insane. I've never been that low in blood sugar and that high in ketones at the same time. So my GKI index was about 1.67, which I've never been there before. And most people will never see that number, but I'll tell you, I was so impressed. And I really believe it was because I was drinking a lot of matcha green tea today. So anyway, promotes weight loss. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that drinking tea high in catechins again, for 12 weeks led to significant reductions in fat mass, BMI, body weight, and waist circumference compared to a control group. These catechins are amazing. I'm telling you, they do so many things in your body that you can't even count them anymore. Similarly, a review out of the Netherlands reported that the catechins found in green tea and matcha could help reduce body weight and maintain weight loss. Other research has found that matcha could increase metabolism, boost fat burning, and help enhance long-term weight loss as well. So from a weight loss standpoint, from a diabetes standpoint, from a cancer standpoint, from a heart disease standpoint, matcha green tea can do it all. So what about exercise performance? What about if you're working out and you want to make sure that you can recover quickly? Because I tell you, that's one of the biggest problems that people have with working out is they're afraid to work out hard or heavy or do high intensity training because they're thinking, I'm not going to recover. I'm not going to want to work out again right away. Well, matcha green tea can help with that. Why? Because it helps reduce the oxidative stress on your cells. And as a result, cell damage is lessened. So your body can heal and repair quicker. So helps speed up muscle recovery, reverses cellular damage caused by oxidative stress. So as your body is going through these difficult workouts, you can form free radicals, and these free radicals then cause a lot of stress on your cells. The catechins in matcha green tea will actually help combat that and fight it off. Green tea along with physical activity, so both of them together, increases energy expenditure, fat burning, enhanced endurance, and reduces muscle damage. Once again, you can then heal faster, recover faster, get back out and do your workouts more frequently. Now, I'm not a big proponent of, super long hour-and-a-half workouts, but if you could take 40 minutes or 20 minutes and cram high intensity into that, the way I teach it with, supersetting and so on, you get a great workout that fast. You don't need to work out for an hour-and-a-half. In fact, if you do, you're typically making too much cortisol. How about detoxifies the body, as if all the other ones weren't enough? It can also detoxify the body. Turns out that matcha's high green color. Now, the way matcha is grown, it's grown in Japan, and it's typically picked in May in a very specific region, a certain altitude. But what's interesting about it is the leaves are the uppermost leaves that are the most tender. About 20 days before they're going to be harvesting these leaves, they start to slowly cover them so that it shades them out. They cover them in a way that they keep the sunlight from hitting it. And the plants are forced, because they start to stress out a little bit, they're forced to make more chlorophyll. Now, because of the increased and super high amounts of chlorophyll, it makes it a really good detoxifying agent. So chlorophyll aids in detoxification and can help promote the elimination of unwanted toxins, chemicals, and heavy metals from the body. So with our toxic lifestyles producing free radicals, I'm telling you, matcha green tea is the way to go. I've got to be honest with you. A little self-confession here. I've never liked tea. I've never been a tea drinker because I like, and maybe you guys can relate, put a little comment down there too if you can relate to this. I like the thickness of coffee. I like having cream in it. I like my bulletproof coffee. And even if it wasn't bulletproof, I just like the thickness, the weight of coffee. Tea has always seemed so light to me. But here's how I do it. Now, it's not traditional, and everybody, my viewers in Japan, are going to totally disagree with me on this. But I like doing it as a bulletproof matcha. And what I do is very simple. I boil the water, take it just before it's hitting boiling point. I pour it into the blender. I put in some of the matcha green tea. I put in my MCT oil. I add some Kerrygold grass-fed butter and a little bit of stevia. And I'm telling you, I am in heaven. I love it. Now, my wife doesn't love it. I'm going to just full disclosure here, my wife doesn't love it because it has a little bit of a grassy taste, but I like that. If you like wheatgrass, you'll like this. It actually has a very nice, mellow, green kind of taste. And I love the vibrant colors of it because matcha green tea is extremely vibrant. Now, one thing you want to make sure of, that when you purchase this kind of tea, you want to make sure that it's pure matcha because you're going to get blends. You're going to get a tea box that says matcha on it. When you look at the back, it's just a blend of a bunch of teas, but they want to sell it as a matcha green tea, but it's not. It's a little bit more expensive, so you'll know that by the price. But and you get a small canister of it. I got a small one like this, but it's extremely green. It's powder. It's typically, it's always ground into a powder. There's different grades of it. There's a ceremonial grade all the way down to a cooking grade, and I think the middle grade is called standard, I believe. But anyway, I mean, this stuff is picked by experts. They're taste testing it, they're combining it, they're blending it to make the perfect teas out of this. So once again, I hope you guys try this out, and I hope this video was valuable to you. I hope you found great value in it because I tell you what, this can really be a game changer. Check this out, try it with your keto diet, make a bulletproof coffee or bulletproof matcha, and you'll enjoy it just like I am. So anyway, I hope this is great information. If so, please make sure you like, you share, you comment, and subscribe. Hit that little bell notification so that way you're notified anytime I go on the air. I love and appreciate you guys more than you know, and I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.